All right, let's dive in. We've got a ton of finance and tech news to cover today. Feels like every time you blink, there's another headline about crazy crypto valuations or, the latest market trends, AI investments. It's a lot to keep up with. But that's why we're here, to break it all down for you, make sense of the chaos.
Absolutely. It's all about finding those key insights, right? Cutting through the noise.
Exactly. And speaking of big numbers, we got to start with this one from Web3 Wire. Get this. The crypto market is now valued at, wait for it, $3.30 trillion.
Trillion with a T.
Yeah. And that's spread across like over 31,000 different digital assets. So, is this even sustainable? What's fueling this insane growth?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's not just about the numbers. It's about what this tells us about the future of finance, where things are headed.
For sure. And speaking of unexpected trends, let's talk about meme coins. You remember Shiba Inu, right? The one with the dog logo?
Oh, yeah, the Dogecoin competitor.
Well, guess what? It's not just a joke anymore.
Things change fast in the crypto world.
Seriously. Web3 Wire has like 3 whole articles on this Shiba Inu evolution. They're saying it's moving beyond just being a currency. They're building a whole ecosystem, trying to become a major player in DeFi.
Decentralized finance, yeah.
It's wild. So is this just a fluke, or are meme coins actually maturing?
It's a fascinating question, and honestly, I think it points to a larger trend. We're seeing the whole crypto landscape mature, attracting serious investors and developers. People are building real-world applications for this tech. It's not just hype anymore.
Definitely. Now, I know Bitcoin and Ethereum feel out of reach for a lot of people, but Web3 Wire also put together a list of 5 affordable cryptocurrencies to watch in 2023. I won't spoil the whole list, but let me tease you with some details. One wants to be the Netflix of blockchain, totally changing content creation. Another is focused on online gaming, especially with the metaverse exploding. And there's even one tackling sustainable energy, which is huge these days.
It's amazing to see crypto branching out, impacting so many different sectors.
Totally. And speaking of impact, we got to talk about how big companies are getting involved. Like 3Body USA. They're pouring resources into AI and crypto development.
Right, and they're not alone?
Nope. They're following giants like LVMH, Sony, Visa, even Microsoft. This isn't niche anymore. It's mainstream.
Exactly. So what does this mean for us, for the average person?
Yeah, what are the opportunities, the potential threats? We need to unpack that.
For sure. But before we go there, we have one more story that's, well, it's pretty wild.
Oh, I know where you're going with this. It involves Pepe, doesn't it?
You got it. Wall Street Pepe, this meme-inspired trading platform.
Just raised $45 million in its pre-sale.
It's insane. Like, is this a sign of the times or just a funny blip on the radar?
Yeah, it's like internet culture crashing into high finance. We got to figure out what it all means.
Yeah.
We'll be back to break down those affordable cryptocurrencies in more detail, and we'll explore how all these advancements impact you, the listener. Stay tuned.
All right, so before we got sidetracked by Wall Street Pepe, you were about to tell us about those affordable cryptocurrencies. You mentioned one that wants to be like the Netflix of blockchain.
Yeah, that's vivid. And they're all about decentralizing content creation. Imagine, like, creators connecting directly with their audience and getting paid without needing those big studios or streaming platforms.
Cutting out the middleman, huh? Giving power back to the artists.
Exactly. And then there's that one focused on online gaming. With the whole metaverse thing taking off, it seems like a smart move.
That's gamey, and it's built on a blockchain that's super fast, low fees, which is, like, essential for gaming, right?
Totally. Lag is the worst.
So with gamers can actually earn rewards for their skills. They can even own stuff in the game, like virtual real estate items.
It's like taking those in-app purchases, but you actually own the digital assets. You can even trade them for real money, potentially.
It's crazy. A whole new economy popping up around these virtual worlds.
And then there's the one tackling sustainable energy, which is so important right now.
Solar, yeah. They're creating a marketplace for renewable energy, but decentralized.
So instead of going through those big energy companies, you can buy and sell clean energy directly from other people.
Peer-to-peer energy trading, all powered by blockchain.
It's like a real-world solution to a real-world problem.
Definitely shows the positive potential of this technology. But hey, we were talking about Shiba Inu earlier and how it's trying to move into this whole DeFi space. Maybe we should explain what DeFi is for those who aren't familiar.
Oh, good point. So DeFi, or decentralized finance, is basically, it's like recreating all those traditional financial systems. Lending, borrowing, trading, but on the blockchain.
So cutting out those big banks and institutions.
Yeah, it's all about transparency, accessibility, and less control from the big guys.
And Shiba Inu is launching its own decentralized exchange, Shiba Swap. So you can trade Shiba Inu tokens, other cryptocurrencies directly.
They're even making a stable coin pegged to the US dollar.
Which is like super important for DeFi because it reduces the volatility.
It's wild. They're basically building their own little stock market for crypto,
It's incredible how fast this is all happening.
and how accessible it's becoming for everyone.
Which brings us to a key question, right? What does this all mean for the average person, for those who aren't experts?
Yeah, that's a big one. And what about those big companies we talked about, like Three Body USA and all the others getting into AI and blockchain? What does that mean for us?
Well, it shows that this is going mainstream. Companies that impact our lives every day are adopting this tech. Like, think about LVMH. They own all those luxury brands, Louis Vuitton, Dior, all those.
Oh, yeah, I know.
They're using blockchain to track their products, fight counterfeiting.
So you know you're getting the real deal, not a knockoff.
Exactly. And Sony, they're looking at blockchain for digital rights management, especially for music and videos.
So artists could get paid fairly, have more control over their work.
Potentially cut out those record labels and streaming services.
Wow, that would be huge. It seems like a lot of this is about empowering creators.
Yeah, definitely a recurring theme. And Visa, they're exploring blockchain for cross-border payments. Faster, cheaper, more secure transactions.
And Microsoft is going all in on blockchain platforms, especially for businesses.
It's everywhere. It feels like blockchain is becoming like the new internet.
But how do we keep up with all this? It's moving so fast.
That's the big question, and one we'll tackle after the break. But for now, just think about this. The future is being shaped right now, and we all have a role to play.
All right, so we've talked about all this crazy innovation, but
Mhm.
the big question is, how do we keep up? It feels like a fire hose of information sometimes.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming for sure. I think the key is don't get bogged down in the details. Focus on understanding the big picture, the core concepts.
So not about becoming a blockchain expert overnight.
Exactly. It's more about, building that awareness, being able to spot what's important, what's just noise.
Okay, so awareness first. But what about actually doing something? How do we go from reading headlines to actually participating in this new world?
Well, you don't have to jump in head first. You can start small, like maybe pick one of those affordable cryptocurrencies we talked about. Invest a little, see how it works.
Kind of like dipping your toes in the water.
Exactly. Or maybe take an online course, learn some blockchain basics.
There's tons of resources out there, right?
Oh, yeah. A lot of them are even free.
But we got to be realistic. There's always going to be some risk involved.
Of course, any new technology, any investment, there's always risk. That's why it's important to, do your research. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
And never invest more than you can afford to lose.
Exactly. Solid advice.
So it seems like the big takeaway here is the future is coming at us fast, and technology is driving the change. It's exciting, a little scary maybe, but definitely full of possibilities.
Absolutely. We can't predict the future, but we can learn, adapt, and be ready for whatever comes next.
So here's a question for you, the listener. With all this happening around us, what are you going to do to not just survive, but to actually thrive in this new world?
Maybe it's learning a new skill, making an investment, or just staying curious and engaged with all these advancements. The choice is yours.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time for another look at the ever-changing world of finance and tech.